tonight on Texas News Prime.
Charlie Kirk's funeral was held yesterday. We bring you more on how the conservative activist's death has affected campus and the nation.
The president of Texas A&M steps down. All about the controversy leading up to his resignation.
UT announced its decision to stop offering students hormone therapy. More on how this affects students.
The university announces all-time high enrollment, four-year graduation, and retention rates.
And some of our TSTV news correspondents attended Paddleboard yoga. Stay tuned for details on entertainment in the Austin area. This is Texas News Primetime.
News made for Longhorns.
Good evening for Monday, September 22nd. I'm James Griffin.
And I'm Emmy Adams. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Nearly 2 weeks have passed since conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a Utah college campus. Kirk's funeral was held yesterday, and while some in attendance use it as a moment to call for unity, others, like President Donald Trump, use the service as a platform to chastise political opponents. TSTV News' Joseph Sweeney brings us more on how the UT community is responding to Kirk's death and what the event says about political violence in the United States.
His words are alive. What he did is alive. Charlie's legacy will continue.
Shock looms across the country and here on campus following the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
As a gun violence prevention activist, I knew the impact that this would have.
And in the wake of the conservative activist's death, campus gun control advocates call for unity over division.
There were people that agreed with him and people that didn't. And it really just comes down to, I think we should all be channeling this into outrage and trying to end gun violence.
UT students demand action say Kirk's shooting should be a sign to end campus carry. Spokesperson Isabella Carrascal says open carry laws in Utah only made it easier for the shooter to blend in with the crowd. She believes the shooting could have been prevented with stricter gun laws in place.
It does make people very unsure of going to class and going to their club meetings, and it's very possible for somebody with ill intentions to go and harm somebody with a firearm.
Taking a look at political violence nationally shows Kirk's death isn't an isolated incident. President Donald Trump was subject to 2 failed assassination attempts in 2024 alone, while in 2025, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's residence was firebombed in April in what some considered an anti-Semitic attack. And in June, one Minnesota legislator was killed in her home, with one more being critically injured in a spree shooting.
Charlie kind of ingrained this message in us that America is a very good country. We ought to love America. America is worth fighting for.
This weekend, Governor Greg Abbott called upon young conservatives to carry on Kirk's legacy and not back down in the face of intimidation. TSTV News reached out to UT's Young Conservatives and Turning Point USA chapters, but they did not provide comment. Joseph Sweeney, TSTV News.
In a statement posted to social media, UT's Turning Point USA chapter said their memorial to Kirk was vandalized less than 3 hours after the vigil. The perpetrators were later caught by UTPD, according to the press release. Here today to talk with us more about Kirk's funeral and how the Trump administration is reacting to his death, we have Elijah Carl. How are you doing today, Elijah?
I'm doing great, James.
Great to hear. So can you tell us a little bit about what Kirk's memorial service was like?
Yeah, so it was housed or held at a football stadium in Arizona with a capacity of around 60,000, and there was still overflow, just to give you an idea of the size of this thing. The first half of the memorial was largely religious. It focused on Kirk's faith, and his service as a Christian. And then in the second half, it starts to morph into really just a political rally. I mean, you have J.D. Vance saying that Kirk was killed for his speech, and then Trump outright saying that the left were to blame for Kirk's death.
So what policy moves is the Trump administration making in the wave of Kirk's death?
Yeah, so just a few hours ago, Trump signed an executive order designating Antifa, which is a broad, unorganized, anti-fascist, left-wing ideology, as a domestic terrorist organization. And in that executive order, it actually specifies Antifa as recording and also protesting against agents of federal organizations like ICE.
Thank you so much, Elijah, for bringing us to date on current events.
Happy to be here.
Texas A&M University President Mark Welsh resigned Friday. His resignation comes days after a video showing a gender identity discussion in a Texas A&M classroom went viral. Several top state Republicans, including Governor Greg Abbott, called the video political indoctrination and called for the professor to be fired. Welsh originally didn't fire the professor, but as political pressure mounted, he eventually did fire her. Despite the controversy, Welsh and his wife were met by a cheering crowd of Texas A&M students and faculty as they left the university on Friday.
New policy from the Trump administration caused confusion for some visa holders. President Trump announced that applicants for an H-1B visa will have to pay $100,000 fee. The visa program is open to skilled foreign workers. The announcement left many current H-1B visa holders unclear about their status. A flight at San Francisco Airport was stuck for 3 hours as visa holders tried to find out if they could re-enter the country. The White House later clarified that current holders won't be affected and the fee is a one-time payment. The order went into effect at midnight on Sunday.
A new state law aims to further restrict access to abortion pills in Texas. The law allows anyone to sue prescribers who send pills into Texas. This builds on a 2022 law which banned abortion, including abortion pills. Some organizations say that this won't stop them from sending pills to Texans. Legal experts also expect that people sued under this law could make counterclaims. Pill providers could face charges up to $100,000. The bill will take effect this December.
Last Tuesday, as one of the ongoing concerns raised by attorneys representing children at the Dilley Detention Center, lawsuit details and reports from other families on the facility's unsafe conditions were revealed, such as dirty water, a lack of food, medical neglect, and months-long detentions for children. These conditions continued despite violating the 1997 Flores Agreement, which the court upheld. The Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services are calling for enforceable standards and accountability from detention centers. UT Austin announced its clinic will no longer offer hormone replacement therapy next semester. Gender care services were removed from the university website shortly after the announcement. A university spokesman told KXAN that treatment is outside the clinic's scope of care. Students will have access to the treatment for the remainder of the semester, and the university promises to help students find off-campus providers for the upcoming semester.
More changes on the 40 acres as another UT leader steps down. Education Dean Charles Martinez announced he will leave his role at the end of the academic year. In an email sent to College of Education students and faculty, Martinez reflected on his 6-year tenure, touting undergraduate enrollment's increase by over 40% and the college's 82% four-year graduation rate. The university has not announced who will be Martinez's successor, but the outgoing dean said in his statement that he is confident President Jim Davis will put the college in good hands. Live from New York, the Lauren Michaels collection opened to the public on September 20th at the Harry Ransom Center. Michaels created the sketch comedy show Saturday Night Live in 1975 and has served as the show's executive producer since 1985. This exhibition is guest curated by Steve Wilson and highlights Michaels' influence on comedy and culture. It will be on display through March 20th. Michaels' collection includes annotated scripts, photos, cue cards, and production notes from not just SNL, but also 30 Rock, Mean Girls, Kids in the Hall, and more. Texas Student Media and the UT Dean of Students hosted UT Marketplace last Wednesday. Students flocked to Speedway for free food and drinks. Many booths had interactive games to win free t-shirts or tote bags. The event featured local Austin brands and companies from across the country. It gave businesses a chance to showcase their products and students an opportunity to network with different brands. UT Marketplace is held once a semester and is set to return in the spring.
In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, the Folklorico and Mariachi Band performed 3 times on Saturday's evening football game. The first performance was before the game on Bevo Boulevard. The other 2 were during the first and second half performances. The performance included the Folklorico Dance Company, accompanied by UT's very own mariachi band. The performance showcased Hispanic dances and music. Their next appearance will be in Gregory Gym during the UT Volleyball game against Missouri on Friday. When we come back, UT announces the new Center on Democracy and Law, how this new liberal arts venture hopes to prepare students to work in government and diplomacy around the world.
And Texas soccer currently is struggling to find its groove this season. More on the team's matchup against Alabama this weekend. Primetime will be right back. Welcome back to Primetime. UT set an all-time record in enrollment indicators for the 2025 through 26 school year, reflecting the rise in student demand and performance. The university's total enrollment is 55,000 for this semester, up 2.1% from the year before. The freshman class is the largest in history, making up around 9,900 college students, reflecting a 7.5% increase compared to last fall. Additionally, graduation and retention rates, degrees earned, and freshman applications also rose. The university now sees a 75.7% four-year graduation rate, up 0.7% from last year. On Tuesday, UT launched the Center for Law and Democracy. Housed in the College of Liberal Arts Department of Government, it aims to advance research, teaching, and publishing in public law and political science. The center's mission is to strengthen interdisciplinary work, promote scholarship on law and democracy, and offer courses that prepare students to lead in these areas. It will also support internships, study abroad programs, scholarships, and house both new and ongoing research related to law, justice, and society.
Mozart's Coffee Roasters is wrapping up the summer season with paddleboard yoga on Lake Austin. As the classes are preparing to enter their final week of the year, TSTV News' Shreya Vaidyanathan and Emmy Adams take a look at what makes them so unique.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Emmy Adams. And I'm Shreya Vaidyanathan. And we're reporting this morning from Mozart's Coffee Roasters for TSTV News. That's right, we're about to try paddleboard yoga for the very first time. So we hope you guys stick around and see us in action. We just got our instructions. I'm feeling like I'm probably gonna end up in the water, and I'm a little nervous about
that. The whole idea is to foster spaces where people can show up, be silly, push themselves, and not even necessarily realize they're doing it. There's always this apprehension in the beginning, and people are scared. This is a scary experience because it's new, and new is literally new in our body feels like scary in our body. But then people aren't afraid to be silly, to be loud, to take up space, and that's like kind of the messages that I try to really communicate in here, especially is that fear and being scared and apprehension, those are all normal human emotions, and to expect ourselves not to feel them is to ask ourselves something impossible.
From the beginning, she said, you might be scared, and that's okay. She checked in throughout the class with everyone to make sure everyone still felt comfortable, or if they wanted to challenge themselves.
I loved the class personally. It was so much fun. It was really just relaxing, you know, first thing in the morning to get your body like up and moving. I could feel myself shaking like more at the beginning of class, and then by the end, like I felt myself progress and feel calmer on the water, which was really cool. I'm Emmy Adams. I'm Shreya Vaidyanathan, and we're reporting for TSTV News.
The next paddleboard yoga class will be held this Sunday, September 28th. Tickets are $30 for 1 hour instructed-led session and paddle-boarded rental. Tickets can be bought online on Mozart's website.
When we come back, your weather for the first full week of fall.
And breaking down Texas Volleyball's sweep of the Baylor Bears. Primetime will be back shortly. Welcome back to Primetime.
Cooler weather is ahead as we move into the first full week of fall. Mariva Valier is here with all you need to know in this week's weather. How are you doing today, Mariva?
I'm doing great, thank you. And good evening, Austin. We're closing off today with temperatures in the high 90s and mostly clear skies. Overnight, expect a low around 75 degrees with slight potential for thunderstorms. Tomorrow, the temperature will reach a high of 100 degrees and a low of 77 degrees. Skies should remain mostly sunny, so be prepared for another hot day. Looking at our 7-day forecast, a cold front should approach the region early on Wednesday, with the potential for rain and possible thunderstorms. Temperatures will be cooler this week with highs in the upper 80s. The low on Friday is expected to reach 65 degrees, which hopefully means that fall is officially here. We can expect the sun to be back in the sky on Friday and through the weekend, so if you're planning outdoor activities, that's your chance. But don't forget your umbrellas on Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks, Mariva, for prepping us on Austin weather. When we come back, Texas football's 55-0 win on Saturday. More on the Longhorns' performance over the weekend.
And Taylor Swift announces in-theater listening parties for the release of her upcoming album, The Life of a Showgirl, and how you can get involved. Primetime will be right back.
Welcome back to Primetime.
As Texas football and volleyball wrap up non-conference play, we turn to Georgie Ruiz for a closer look at the upcoming matchups. Georgie, how's it going today?
It's going great. You know, we have a lot of Texas athletics going on, so I'm really just excited to get into it. And all I can say is that the Horns really did come out at night. Texas football is now 3-1 after a notable win against Sam Houston, where the Longhorns defense shut out the Bearcats, keeping them scoreless. And Arch Manning did look a lot more comfortable in this offense this week. Manning completed over 18 out of 21 passes, throwing for 390 yards and throwing 3 touchdowns and rushing for 2 more with no interceptions this time. His connection with Ryan Wingo finally seemed to be clicking, highlighted by a 50-yard touchdown bomb, and this young offense started getting some skill at night. And at his press conference, head coach Steve Sarkisian noticed that players tend to play a little bit better when they're having fun, and it definitely showed on the field. And as Texas heads into its bye week, Coach Sark is looking at recruiting opportunities, potential travel, and giving the team a little rest. And looking ahead, the Texas Longhorns will face Florida at the Swamp with a 2:30 p.m. Central kickoff. While night games are notoriously tough over there, this early afternoon start could give Texas an edge. And Sark and his staff are using this bye week to plan and utilize their healthy roster and get the team ready for what promises to be a challenging matchup.
Well, all eyes are going to be on them at the Swamp. Shifting gears, how's Texas volleyball doing?
Oh, this Texas volleyball team is on a hot streak right now, taking down 8 great opponents back-to-back so far this season. And head coach Jarrett Elliott says he takes it game by game, focusing on getting his players ready. And even with back-to-back matches and limited practice time, his goal is simple: start each match 1-0 and build momentum from there. And then last Wednesday, Texas faced off against a tough opponent, number 9 TCU, and came out strong, using smart serving and aggressive hitting control to control the pace. And though TCU's blocking was on point, junior Torrey Stafford led the offense with 15 kills, while the defense stayed sharp at the net, and in the backcourt forcing errors and keeping their rally in their favor. And then on Friday, switching over, Texas capped non-conference play with a 3-0 sweep with Baylor, and Kari Spears continued her kill dominance, and the Longhorns showed great team chemistry, with players supporting each other and pushing each other in practice and trusting one another on the court, a formula that Elliott says has been key all season. And now, when we shift to the focus of conference play, or as Texas shifts its focus to conference play, opening against Vanderbilt on Wednesday, ready to take that 1-0 start into tougher up matchups, it should be a really interesting time, especially going into this new actual SEC play. It should be a really good games.
2 ranked sweeps back-to-back is intense for any college team. Lastly, Georgie, how about you take us into Texas soccer?
Well, soccer has not been having too much luck, and it's been struggling to find its groove so far in this season. The Horns couldn't overcome Alabama in their last matchup, and they now sit as 0-3 as they ramp up for conference play. Against the Crimson Tide on Sunday, Texas fell behind at 2-0 by halftime, but freshman forward Ava McDonald did spark a valiant rally in the second half, scoring 2 quick goals to bring the Horns back into contention. She also drew a penalty that could have shifted the momentum, and though the team wasn't able to capitalize and also gave Bama a chance to score and take the game, head coach Ange Kelly said she's looking at ways to get players more involved offensively and tighten up defensively. The key for Texas moving forward will be balancing the attack, spreading the scoring opportunities beyond McDonald, and also finding a rhythm as the team is still in the earlier stages of conference play. And the Texas Longhorns return home this Friday to face number 3 Vanderbilt, hoping to pick up their first conference win and gain some much-needed confidence heading deeper into the SEC schedule.
Thanks, Georgie, for keeping us up to date on all things sports. Well, when we come back, Lord's Ultrasound Tour kicks off in Austin. Stay tuned for a TSTV News correspondence experience on opening night.
And the Summer I Turned Pretty series concludes. More on fans' reactions and the upcoming movie. Primetime will be right back.
Welcome back to Primetime.
2 new movies have been announced, one based off a hit TV show and another starring a major artist. Anish Tiwari is here to talk about what you need to know in music, movies, and more. How are you doing today, Anish?
I'm doing well, Emmy, thank you. Well, first off, Lorde kicked off her Ultrasound World Tour in Austin at the Moody Center last Wednesday. The concert started at 7 p.m. with openers The Japanese House and Chanel Beads. Lorde came out on stage at 9 p.m. and performed songs from her recent album, Virgin, as well as songs from earlier albums. This night at the Moody Center was Lorde's first stop on her international tour. Following the show, Lorde took to Instagram, thanking her crowd for being raw and alive with energy.
Anish, are you a regular listener of Lorde?
Well, I don't think I could call myself a regular listener, but I did see her perform Ribs on social media, and it was really exciting. I wish I could have been there live at the Moody Center to see it. And the Summer I Turned Pretty fans don't have to be sad about the show ending for too long. Many fans gathered Wednesday for what was thought to be the final installment in the Summer I Turned Pretty universe, only for it to be announced that a movie will also be released. Jenny Han, the show's creator, announced Wednesday, shortly after the series finale came out, that she and the cast will be returning for a movie. The show was the cultural phenomenon of the summer, and the movie is expected to follow more of Belly and Conrad's love story. The release date for the movie is unknown.
Well, Anish, please tell me, what were your thoughts on the finale?
Well, I've been a long-time fan of the show, and I've been watching since season 1. I don't think they quite stuck the ending that fans were hoping for. The last few episodes were maybe not paced the best, but I'm still excited for the movie to come out to see more about Belly and Conrad. And Taylor Swift announced an exclusive in-theater event, the official release party of Life of a Showgirl. It will be showing in AMC theaters from October 3rd through the 5th. Swift posted on Instagram that this will include the music video for her new single, The Fate of Ophelia, and behind the scenes of how she made it. Swift will also include what inspired the music and lyric for her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, her 12th studio album. Tickets are on sale now across theaters in the U.S.
Will you be in attendance for her new movie?
Well, you know what? I might have to be. I think you guys might see me in attendance. I'm really excited for every one of her fans to see her new album come out, and the movie should be interesting as well.
Well, that's your Monday briefing. For more before our next show, be sure to follow Texas News Primetime on social media.
And check out our website at tstvnews.com.
Signing off, I'm James Griffin.
And I'm Emmy Adams. From all of us at TSTV News, thank you for watching.
Now go out and change your world.